This YouTube video was presented by Screamscape, your ultimate guide to theme parks.
All right, we are here at the Rocky Mountain Construction booth with Scott Voiles. He works for them. He is a drafter and designer.
Correct.
And we are standing in front of this giant piece of steel right here. Tell us about this square.
This is one of the concepts that we are currently developing. It's the T-Rex track is what we're calling it at the moment. We've got a smaller version of this thing as well that's a concept that we're working on. We've had a lot of inquiries about this thing. People seem to be very interested. It's going to be different for us in that it's a steel structure, not something that we typically work with. The cars are going to be a little bit different. They're going to seat 6, 2 side by side. I believe this one will also have a steering axle, which we don't have on our current tracks or current train.
Now, for those at home that don't know what that means, what is a steering axle and why is it important?
I'm picturing like steering wheel, like being able to steal the car.
So what we have currently is the very first axle of the train is on one pivot, so it can spin 360 degrees this way, but it doesn't have any way to adjust this direction. So if you can picture just staying flat and taking a really sharp left turn, that thing always wants to point straight. So it's sort of the hitches behind it that allow it to go around the corner. And this one, you do have to add more wheels for a steering axle. So that'll be a little bit different as well, but we're hoping to get the same smooth ride out of this, do some of the same extreme ride elements that we're able to get out of our topper track and our iBox track, and similar construction methods, something that we're familiar with.
I'm about to get really nerdy here. When you said more wheels, are we talking like more of the road guide and the upstop wheels, or are we just having like a fourth wheel being added to that?
Well, yeah, it'll be sort of the same concept that we have on the iBox and topper, but we're grabbing the outside instead of the interior of the track. But with the steering axle, you can't have sort of 3 points of contact. You actually have to have 6. So it'll be doubled up.
There we go.
So instead of having 1, 2, 3, it's 2, 4, and 6.
Now, we've seen the levels of crazy that you guys could get with Twisted Colossus and Outlaw Run. Does this take this up the craziness level again?
We'll see what Alan has in store in terms of a design, but we do believe that we'll be able to accomplish the same with this track in terms of the ride elements that we do with our current track. I guess with the steel, it is a possibility to get the larger drops and maybe some faster speeds, that sort of thing.
And when you walk by the booth, there's 2 different versions of this design. Talk about the smaller one.
The smaller one, conceptually, I think we've thought about it more as a cookie cutter type of a ride. It's something that we could design once and then we'd be able to sell it multiple times rather than doing the custom coasters, which really do involve a lot of design but also a lot of labor in the install. And if we had a product that maybe was smaller scale, it would open up a different market, people that we could sell it to. We'd design it once, and then it's just something we could build over and over. We'd have all the drawings done, all the engineering done, and it wouldn't be custom every year, which is a lot of work to do the custom coasters.
So for putting an RMC in your backyard, that's going to be the concept that we're going to go.
Yes, but I don't have a backyard. I have a 10 by 10 courtyard with a hot tub in it.
Could we fit it in that?
Not quite. I believe this one, the way we have it designed now, is about 2,000 feet long.
Okay.
So it's
only 1,900 feet over.
Yeah. Now, what are the advantages of the steel versus the iBox and the topper track?
With this one, we do get to eliminate a few things. I mean, as built, it's planed and gauged. With our topper track or iBox, we've got to have the ties on there. And then after we install it, we go back through and plane and gauge because we have the 2 rails. We got to make sure that they are working together. But this one, it's just built into it. So it's an element that we can eliminate from that. You don't have the ties to hold it, engage, and you don't have to send your guys through to plane and gauge it.
Now, one thing I want to talk about a little bit, you guys have quite the slate of new rides coming out in 2016. Could you talk about a little bit about each of the ones that are coming out?
Yeah.
Start with your favorite.
Well,
that's a
don't
dangerous
do that,
question.
Because
Yeah,
then
yeah,
some manufacturer or some
dangerous
parts
question.
can get. Let's start with the one that was announced first, Wildfire in Sweden.
Okay. Wildfire. It's going to be a topper track. Facts I should know.
It's going to be in the woods.
I believe 70 miles an hour. I think it's around 4,000 feet long.
It's in Sweden.
Yep, it is in Sweden. It's got a big stall right after the drop. It should be a nice element, big floating stall. It's low to the ground and fast after that. Should be a very exciting ride.
Okay, that's enough for our 2 Sweden listeners.
Yes. You're welcome, Claude.
Yeah. All right, Joker coaster.
Joker. Ooh.
It's got the first time you've had the 2 different color rails.
It's very pretty.
That is true. We got 1 green and 1 purple rail for the Joker. I believe the Joker is about 3,800 feet long. I think top speed's about 53, 55 miles an hour, something like that. I believe it's got like a barrel roll, overbank turns, inversions. I think I have a cheat sheet actually.
Oh, very nice. He does.
Oh, all right. We need a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Mine's just business cards.
Hard to keep track of all this stuff.
At least my business cards are already in here at this point.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, we've got
Dollywood.
Dollywood.
Dollywood. It's going to be first wood launch coaster, so we're excited about that. Should be a great ride. It's a topper track. It's going to be the first one to open.
Oh.
We're hoping to have the commissioning going by February, and I believe the ride is scheduled to open in March. So it's going to be the first one that opens. For those looking to ride a new RMC coaster next year, it's going to be the first choice.
Let's talk about the launch system. Is that what you were going to talk about? I saw you were going to ask a question. The launch system, is that you guys? Did you guys outsource that to somebody else?
It is outsourced. The launch is being done by Velocity Magnetics, and we've had to make a few alterations to our train. So the way the launch system works, we typically have a fin on the bottom of our cars. That fin is going to be built into the lift hill, and then we're actually going to have a pair of magnets that sort of surround that fin, and that's the mechanism that they're going to use to launch the cars up the hill. Should be about 35 miles an hour when you reach the first hump, and then it's going to be sort of a floater hill going over the drop, which is going to be an awesome element.
Very, very cool. Now, one question I had for you guys, for the completely new creations like your City Dollywood compared to what we're seeing at like Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, is it like the same amount of work for you guys, or is it one easier than the other?
They both have their aspects that are, I guess, difficult or challenging. It is nice going ground up. You know where everything is. You're putting in the foundations, and you're drawing the details for all of the structure. When we're doing a remodel, typically we go in, we survey foundations. We don't necessarily locate all of them. If they are needed later, we'll look at them, but because some of these coasters are so old, you don't know what you're going to encounter. You don't know the craftsmanship of the structure itself. So even if we do survey, hey, this is where the structure's at, by the time you go up 100 feet, it could be 3 or 4 feet that way. You're trying to connect to that. So it's always sort of on the fly. You're discovering these things, and you've got to be very agile and just quick thinking to really accommodate all those things that you encounter.
And then we got one more project, Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom, which I'm actually pretty excited for this one for the flipping drop.
Yes.
Yes. Which you guys had a wacky name for. I totally can't remember what it was called, but it looked very exciting.
Way to go.
Way to go. But
doing your research, aren't you?
I'm excited. No, but the whole thing was, it amazed me with this ride is every single element had a really cool name on it, which I was excited for. It's also technically your first steel roller coaster, as it has steel supports.
We get the barrel roll down drop. It's going to be the iBox track. It is on a steel structure, not sort of the pipe column type, but it's built similar to the wood with the cords and dags and legs, but it's all angle iron. So it is new for us, working with the steel structure. I think think this one's about 2,700 feet, and I believe also top speed in the 50s, 53, 55 miles an hour, somewhere in there.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I think that takes care of everything going on with you guys, and I feel like we've been doing this for like 20 minutes, and you need to get back to selling roller coasters.
Yeah.
So Scott, we're going to let you go. We can't wait to check out all these new rides next year.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.